I've got a fun little video for you today. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk through how to implement functional communication training, or FCT. We're gonna use my best friend, little Lexi over here, to model it. So let's go ahead and break it down. So let's first talk about why we're gonna use functional communication training. So I did functional communication training with Lexi to teach her to ring a bell to go outside. So the original problem is that she was basically just learning that if she whined, that she would go outside eventually, but she didn't really have any clear indicators of like when that would be reinforced or not. So it resulted in a lot of just excess whining that I wanted to eliminate, and do so by teaching her and giving her a response that gives her a little bit more control of her environment and that she can request to actually go outside. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do in FCT is figure out what your FCR is going to be, which stands for your functional communicative response. So that's just the response that you're going to use to teach and replace the problem behavior. So what I chose for Lexi is for her to ring this little bell, and now every time that she rings this bell, it means that we will go outside. So in the initial steps of FCT, your goal is just to get this behavior to occur at a high frequency. You can use prompts to get this behavior going. So I might use like gestural prompts, or maybe even physical prompts if she's like not even hitting the bell at all. And you get that behavior up to a high frequency, and you want it to be independent in this phase. So you want the behavior to occur without prompts. So try to fade those prompts out pretty quickly. Another good strategy is to utilize the MOs when you use your prompts. So don't prompt the behavior if the MO is not there. So for example, if we just went outside like 20 minutes ago, I'm not going to prompt that behavior to ring the bell because I don't really want to reinforce it again just 20 minutes later. And she probably doesn't really need to go outside that much since she just went pee. So I'm gonna prompt that response under like a 2 to 3 hour inter-response time, and that will make sure that the MO is there. All right, and then once you have that response occurring with a high frequency, you want to establish some stimulus control over that response. So have some signal in the environment that shows whether or not that response will be reinforced. Because if I don't have that, then Lexi's just gonna be either hitting that bell all day and I'll have to bring her outside, or she's just gonna stop hitting the bell completely because whenever she does, it's put on a pretty thick extinction schedule. So what I did is that we added something to the environment to signal that this behavior will not be reinforced. So we have this blue hat on the ground. That is my S delta for that behavior. So if the blue hat is there, the behavior of pressing the bell is no longer reinforced. And if it's not there, then the behavior will be reinforced. Notice that the SD, which is the hat not being there, was the same condition that I used in the initial free operant phase when we were getting that behavior going. The type of schedule that I'm using with Lexi here is called a multiple schedule. I know a lot of people get freaked out by compound schedules, but let's break this down. So the response here is obviously pressing the bell, and it's on an FR1 schedule in the presence of the SD, which is when the hat is not there. Now, when I have the hat there, that is our S delta condition, we're looking at the same response in the schedule change. So instead of it being on an FR1 schedule, we have the behavior is now on extinction. With the multiple schedule, with the schedules change just after a period of time. So I don't really keep track of it that thoroughly with Lexi, but for example, I may lift the hat up about 2 to 3 hours after our last trip outside. So with a multiple schedule, they're changed based off of time. If this was a chain schedule, it would change off of the completion of a different schedule. So let's say, for example, before I would remove the S delta for pressing the bell, I wanted Lexi to do like 5 tricks spontaneously. So if she just did like 5 tricks spontaneously, that would unlock the next schedule, which is the FR1 for ringing the bell to go outside. So that's the chain schedules where we have more than one response. We're looking at the tricks and the bell pressing there. And the completion of the one schedule unlocks the next schedule. Where in the multiple schedule, the schedules just change after a period of time. So after a couple hours, I'm just gonna remove that blue hat and we'll see what happens when I do that. So right now, Lexi has not been outside for a little while. Oh, she's looking over, she knows something's up. All right, so we have our S delta present now, which is that blue hat. So what I'm gonna do is remove the blue hat from the environment and see if this evokes the behavior of pressing the bell. Oh, he likes. Okay, watch this, Bubba. Oh, very good, Lex. Let's go outside. Notice that I did not use a prompt for this behavior. I just removed the S delta. All right, everyone, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you learned a thing or two within this video. Post a comment about what you learned or picked up from this, and I would love to do some more tutorials here with Lexi or just out in the real world. So post in the comments below what kind of things you would like to see next. All right, thanks a bunch, and hope y'all have a great day.